Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Meng. And this is quite interesting thing because here we get McLaren MP4/4 from 1988, and I guess there is no need to say who was racing on it, but it is interesting because first of all it was released in the large scale, and now we get it in a classic car scale, which is more unusual for a Formula 1 kit, and it's 124 Formula 1 car, and I think it might be interesting for some modders who don't have space for a larger scale build. And yet Meng promises a lot of details out of the box, so it will be interesting to check what is included here. Straight away I can see even on the box art we do not have all of the symbols which were present on the real car, and if you know, you would get that here we should have a certain cigarette brand, but it's not there. And for this you will have to get some aftermarket set, and we will talk about it in a separate review because I have it as well. And here on the side you'll find also the list of the paint numbers in AK interactive designations, and also some features which are included here. So it's written that we have the V6 engine copied in a full details, let's say. We also have the reflective mirror foils for the mirrors, obviously, and we also have the PE parts for the seat belts. On the opposite side you'll find also the short history note, and we have some kit info, so I'll read it as well. We have dimensions of the finished model. It's 184 millimeters long, so it's not that huge in comparison with the previous release, if we can put it this way. And now I just need to open it, and we will check together what is actually included here and why this is also a credible option for modders who are not that, let's say, rich on the available space. So just give me a second, I need scissors in order to cut through the plastic bag, because it's a sealed plastic bag, and I just need to have it cut through. All sprues are molded out of light gray plastic, so you will see it in a few seconds. Okay, so here is the first one, and as I said, it's more of a light gray, not the white colored plastic, and as you can see, it's slightly, the circle is slightly off center, that's why it was placed like this. In the same plastic bag I found the clear plastic sprue, so here we have the windscreen, and this one I will have to open with the debonder, and while you are looking at this sprue I will open this plastic bag. And of course, I think it's typical for Meng that we do not have any masks included, so in case you would like to have the nice paintwork, you have to source your own masks. So be ready for this. And here is the clear sprue. So this is the windscreen for your car model, and I can see we also have some minor parts, but that's pretty much all. And molding quality looks fine to me. And as for the gray plastic part, so here we have the monocoque, which is molded as a single piece part, and I think it's really good because you won't have to deal with the separate panels. And if I zoom in here, you can take a closer look in order to understand what I'm talking about. We also have really good surface details, so if camera will be kind enough to focus, you can see also all of these rivets which are pre-molded here. This is the floor panel, so again it's a one-piece element, and again it's really good. And I guess this is the pilot or driver's seat, and as you can see, it's a top shaped just like on the real car. This is the nose section, again internal one, and here we continue with various external panels, also various radiators. And if I flip over these parts, here inside we have the guiding elements, so it should be easy to align all this stuff together. And here you can check also the seat from the opposite side. So as to me, it looks fine for 124 scale. It's definitely a good, let's say, attention to details. But the question is how to show all of this stuff. I saw some modders actually doing the cut-through version, but it's already your decision whether you would like to go this way, because it will require certain modification to the plastic, which is not reversible, obviously. So be sure to think it twice before going for such radical measures. And then we continue with the sprue C. So here we have quite an interesting thing because we have the engine parts. This is a V6, as I said, and Meng says that it should be quite nicely detailed out of the box. We also have the steering wheel here, And I can see that there are a lot of minor elements to be installed on the engine, so it might be fun to paint it properly. Maybe you will have to use some proper reference material in order to get the right look, but as you can see, everything looks fine. I would say the parts division is also somewhat logical, so it's just a matter of deciding how you will paint all these parts. Maybe you will try to paint them on the car. I saw some modders actually trying to do it with the masking, but I think here we have such a design which will help you with painting everything before the assembly. And next we have the external shell, if I can call it so, but this part is molded as a single piece part and it's closed with the paper clips, so I'm using debonder in order to open it, so just give me a moment. And overall, I can also remind you that you can support me with a small donation, because it's quite easy thing to do, and your donations actually help me to get kits like this one, so that we can check it together. And now I'm opening the plastic bag with the external shell, as I said before. So it is also molded as a single piece part, as you can see, and it looks really good. I like that it is as a one piece part, not as some assembly all out of separate panels, so such design should be easier to work with. We also have the Meng logo here. Obviously this tab will have to be cut off, but other than that you don't have to do anything extra. In the same plastic bag you can find the vinyl tires, so I will just zoom in a bit so that you can see them closer. Here they are, and as you can see, these are typical vinyl tires. We even have the seam in the middle, so it might be worth sanding them a bit in order to get the realistic appearance, and I really hope that we get the decals for the tires, because otherwise you will have to get the aftermarket set, because as far as I remember, that aftermarket set actually which is from Hobby Design, as far as I remember. So it actually features the various stencils for the tires, so you can actually airbrush it instead of just applying as a decals. Next is the sprue A, so again various external panels, and here I guess I should zoom out a bit. Okay, now you can see that here we have the front spoiler, also the rear wing, which should be assembled out of separate panels. With the rear wing, I would recommend not to hurry, so that you get the proper alignment of those parts together. And here you can check those parts from the opposite side. So we have the guiding elements, and overall shaping and attachment points are quite nicely molded, so I don't see any issues here. And parts count, from what I see here, is not that huge. So for some modders it might be good, for some it will be not that impressive, but I would say from what we saw here, we have mainly, I would say, all noticeable features, if we can put it this way, copied out of the box. So I think this is more than enough. So that's why I'm showing now the last gray plastic sprue. It's the sprue D, and here you can see the front suspension wishbones. We also have the brake discs. I can see the wheel rims here, and those are the exhausts, as far as I can understand. We will see it also in the assembly manual, and if I flip it over here, you can check these parts from the opposite side. And for the wheel rims, obviously it is good that you can paint them separately and then just insert it into the vinyl tires. Next thing is, no, those are not masks. I was happy to see this yellow paper, but I think it's just the backing paper for the decals. And also here we have some P parts and textile inserts. Obviously the P parts and textile will be used for the seat belts. So just give me a moment to open it. Okay. And I will take it out of the plastic bag. So it is, from one side it is good to see so many bonuses here. From another side, well, as I said, some of the things are actually missed. So, for example, the decals are not featuring all of the necessary symbols. Here we start with a textile, I would say plate or square or rectangle, more of. So these are the cutouts for the seat belts. You have to use them in order to replicate it on the driver's seat. And for the buckles, if you wonder, you have this I would say it's more of a steel thread, but it looks like the PE thread. It's a bit thicker than the typical PE, so that's why I'm calling it this way. Next, we continue with the decals. So first decal sheet is not huge. Well, the second one is also, I'm just checking it now. But here you can see all of the necessary symbols. Of course, we have some interior decals as well. So all of this stuff looks great. And of course, if you would like to have the Marlboro decals on your car build as well, you have to get them separately, as I said before. Next, we continue with tiny chrome decals for the rear view mirrors. So they are really quite shiny, so quite good. And next we continue with those decals for the tires. So as you can see, these decals are coming in a white color. You can apply them straight onto the vinyl tires, but as I said, you can also choose the aftermarket, and there should be some templates for that. And those decals, I guess, will be applied inside the air ducts. As you can see, there are also chrome decals. So that's quite handy feature for those who don't like to work with the chrome paints. Now for the carbon decals, this is the biggest decal sheet in this kit, and here you can see all of these decals. So basically you just paint it into the black gloss as far as I remember, and then you apply all of these decals on the top. So quite a simple process for the internal structure, and yet you will get the full carbon look on your formula. And as for the assembly manual, it comes as the color printed brochure. So here I will close the lenses probably and zoom out a bit. So as you can see on the first page, we don't have that much of the features. Next we have the safety advices, and here you can see also some recommended tools and again some tips on how to work with decals. Assembly process starts with an engine. So here you have several steps to complete, and here we continue with the drive shaft being installed in form of these rods. Next we continue with the side panels for the transmission, and then we install the wheel bracket assembly. Here you can see the brake discs obviously, so as you remember they were molded in this way, so you should paint them and also apply the decals as far as you can see. Then you join all of this stuff together. And frankly speaking, for me, it is interesting to see that there were actually 2 calipers on the brake discs. I didn't know this before. And next we continue with the monocoque. So here, as you can see, we will be working with a lot of decals as well, so be ready for this. And next we work with the cockpit, so the seat belts are going there, and maybe for the standard look I think it will be enough of the standard seat belts. Next we continue by joining this one with the monocoque. Then we also install the steering wheel and the instrument panel or dashboard. Then we have the radiators for the left side and then for the right side, so they're assembled separately, and again good chance to paint them separately as well. Then here we continue with the air intakes, and also you install the front bracket assembly. You install and apply decals on the lower panel or floor panel, and then we install it onto the monocoque as well. So the same goes for the front brakes. Here we continue with the exhaust pipes. So this is quite an interesting shaped, let's say, sub-assembly, so that's why I pay attention to how they will be fitting together. And next we continue with the, I can see that this is the engine mounting bracket, and here we have the plenum assembly, which is installed on the top of the engine obviously. Then we have also the, here we have the Westgate cooling pipe, and then we have also the nose cone and rear wing assembly. So that will be also quite an interesting thing because it's painted into different colors. Then of course we work with the wheels. We start working on the front wing assembly. Here we continue with more parts for the bodywork, and also we assemble the rear view mirrors. Then we install all those panels onto the monocoque, or you can assemble this bodywork on the special display stands which are included, which is quite cool. And here we have one and only marking option obviously, so this one can be copied out of the box. Next we have the parts map and also the paints color designations in Accretion, Meng, AK. So it will be easy to understand which one you need. But overall, I think this is a really great option for maneuverers who are tight on space. So definitely check this out. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. So do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.